What does that mean to you, Black History Month?
It means that that's racism because they don't celebrate White History Month. We don't have it. I'm part Italian. I don't have Italian History Month. So what I think it's doing is perpetuating what this divide is in our nation, quite honestly, because I don't feel like that should be highlighted. I don't think that they should be pushing their agenda on myself because I'm a straight male, I have a wife, and I have children. I don't think that I should have to be bombarded and brainwashed through media, through those months or Pride, Black History. I don't think that's something that should be, dictated to me.
Is it a learning opportunity?
Not at all, because when I was in school, we learned, certain Black leaders, things like that. I don't need to hear it every single year for a whole month.
You could have stopped that!
How did you know this was happening?
Reddit.
Shackled bodies have washed up from the Mediterranean Sea this year. Is it a coincidence that immigrants are being loaded onto cargo planes that open mid-air from the back? Is it a coincidence that they're choosing to transport them using a plane that uses much more fuel that's not as efficient? Is it a coincidence that they're also shackled on this plane? If you haven't heard about it, look it up. And for those of you that say, well, what this and that happened during the Biden administration, shut up. Okay, shut up. If I come across anything that's horrible and I feel like I'm going to speak out about it, I don't care who the fuck is president, I'm going to speak out about it. We're not going to downplay what's happening right now for something that happened during the Biden administration. Shut up. And for those that are involved in this, I hope that the universe has something very special planned. And for those of you that support that and are happy about that, I really, really hope that the universe has something as equally painful designed just for you.
America as we know it is done, and I'm kind of pissed off about this. I've been shot at, blown up, watched friends die for this country, and it's done, it's gone. And it's all white supremacists' fault. MAGA, Republicans, all of them. Billionaires. Oh, and we can't forget Israel's blood money on top of that.
You just couldn't call, could you, MAGAs? You just couldn't help out a few thousand or million people who are going to go hungry and are going to live in the fucking streets. Thanks, MAGA. Thanks a whole hell of a lot. Because most of the goddamn people live in your fucking states.
Did you know Iran was the first country to honor Malcolm X in 1984 via a postage stamp? Yeah, it's no secret why Iran is so incredibly beautiful on all levels. And that's the fucking proof. Wow, wow. You can learn something, America.
Well. Now, I was trying to go about my day and do what I needed to do, but I think I've got something I need to say to you, particularly if you're a MAGA and you voted for that fool, particularly if you're a part of MAGA who voted for that fool because you're all pro-fucking-life. You know, the same ones of you that were so happy that we kept a corpse alive long enough to let a baby reach 1 pound, say her fucking name, Adriana Smith. It was okay for that black woman to be your test subject, but the brown woman in the detention center, just let her baby go away. Yes, say her name too. Iris Diana Montega Loomis. She was 5 months pregnant when she was detained by ICE weeks ago, and she begged to see a doctor. But no, they did not let her go. They kept her trapped in a room with no bed to sleep on, no covers to cover up with, and proceeded to serve her food full of cockroaches. And she lost her baby. Is that okay? I guess that's okay, because you've already had your test subject in the black woman the other day. So fuck the brown baby. What the fuck is wrong with you? I know all of y'all believe in that good fucking book. Why don't you open it up and take a look? Because the sins of the mother and the father are bestowed upon thy children. So even though you may make it through this lifetime with karma not coming back to you and the choices that you made when you voted for that fool, just know this. Your children will know what you did and who you voted for. And unfortunately for them, karma doesn't care anymore. May your genetic line die, and we will all just be fine. How dare you? How dare you? Maybe. How fucking dare you? You don't get to pick and choose which life has value. So, you just need to know the fact that you've decided that brown babies and their life has no value. Karma has decided your children have no value either. And she's coming for you. She swings with both fists and feet fucking too. So don't be surprised when she hits you.
This is the importance that you missed. It's why they wear the mask. Or should I say, why they didn't. See, the brown shirts across the water, they knew they could do whatever the fuck they wanted with no consequences. The federal agents over here and their rent-a-thug half-price agents know they don't have that same power. If they weren't scared of you, they wouldn't bother with the mask. They know you still have the power to make it hurt. They're still scared of us. Never forget, authoritarianism is a fucking card trick. The only way those people have power for real is if they can fool you into thinking that they actually do.
We're here. We are here at the FAFO stage. This is really bad. And if you appreciate my content, please engage with this video. I'm just going to read this to you. Multiple Texas farms shut down after almost 100% of workforce vanishes overnight. In a stunningly swift overnight change, some Texas farm operations had to shut down after losing virtually all of their workforce, an exodus triggered by the increase in immigration raids and increased enforcement. The ripple effects of these raids are the gift that keeps on giving and will be felt nationwide. Unpicked crops are now left unharvested. Livestock were left untended, and rural economies are on edge. The story isn't just a tale of woe for Texas farms, it's a warning for American agribusiness, food prices, and communities that keep food on our plates. I need you to share this with every Republican you know. And you don't even need to wait for their response. They just need to know what's happening. And this is part of my line of work. I deal with commercial farmers, including these small farmers, as clients, and I cannot tell you how this is the beginning of the complete collapse of our economy under this Project 2025 administration that doesn't know what they're doing. You talk about the immediate shuttering of farms, because this is actually what's happening with the food, with the harvests that are lying there completely rotting. That is a loss of food to local food distributors, local grocery stores, local restaurants, hospitals. They sell their harvests, all sorts of vegetables, to businesses within the state of Texas. This is where you can go into your local grocery store, and now you're going to see hardly any vegetables or fruit. depending on what they're growing, or a shortage of meat. This is what's going to happen. Now, all of the other industries that support farming, you've got local pesticide, herbicide, fertilizer suppliers that are just, their sales are going to plummet. These farmers aren't going to be purchasing that. You've got H-2A workers who are now gone, migrant workers who are now gone. They were paying taxes. Even if they didn't have social security numbers, they were given tax numbers, tax ID numbers. So now you got millions of dollars just poof, gone overnight from these Texas communities. You've got trucking companies that are hired to haul the produce from the farms to the packaging plants. You've got packaging plants who wash the vegetables, grade the vegetables, pack the vegetables, whose sales are going to plummet. Now you're going to have other industries who don't employ either migrant workers or H-2A workers who are going to have layoffs. This is all under Republican leadership, not just from the White House, but from the Republicans that were elected in the state of Texas. And if you think this is going to stop at Texas, you've got another thing coming. And you want to know which farms are going to be impacted further down the road? They're going to be safe for now. There's a small percentage of farmers who are actually Democrats. And they understand how important it is to protect their employees, take care of their employees. Those employees who feel safe will keep showing up for work because they know the owners have their backs, which says something about these other farms where the employees are like, I'm too scared to show up. Let me add this final thing. This is going to impact farmers. They're at risk of going out of business. Who's going to jump in? The federal government to compensate them with our tax dollars. So now our tax dollars is going to be used to cover the bullshit leadership of this administration on top of the overwhelming increasing tax dollars being used by this administration to scare, to deport, to imprison people with brown skin. Like, our tax dollars are not helping everyday Americans at all. And this is just the beginning under Republican leadership. Share this video.
What side?
Look at these fucking Nazi fucks. Look at these Nazi fucks.
Leave the children alone! Leave the children alone!
Get them out of our city, you fucking Nazis! Fuck y'all!
We gotta have the conversation, guys. It's long overdue, and I have been avoiding it like fucking herpes. It's not our fight conversation. Now, I know that a lot of you guys are gonna stitch this video to twist the narrative. You're gonna hop in the comments and play the victim Olympics. You're gonna do your absolute best to cancel me. I don't give a fuck. Fuck this content creator shit. Fuck being an influencer. Fucking tired of this shit. Being a white woman who speaks publicly on racism in the United States isn't like walking on eggshells. It's like walking on landmines, and I don't give a chicken fried fuck if this is career suicide. I'm done dancing around difficult conversations. This is everybody's fight. It has been since fucking day one. When in the history of white supremacy have you ever seen a white man stop his pursuit of global domination at certain shades of brown? Moreover, when in the history of America has targeted racism due to colorism ever stopped at certain fucking shades? This isn't about being illegal. I see a lot of you guys reason this shit in my fucking comments. Latinos and Hispanics, if you're here legally, I came here legally, you shouldn't be afraid. I see blacks, I'm generations deep. It shouldn't fucking matter. Y'all are not paying attention to the legal processes and the overstepping of the Constitution enough. Whites, blacks, Latinos, none of you guys are paying attention. Some because it suits you, others because what the fuck? I don't know. If one person in the United States does not have due process, nobody does. The Enemies Aliens Act eliminated due process, and now they're going after birthright citizenship. Let me explain to you, like you're a fourth grader, the relevance of this. Due process is a deputized member of a municipality like ICE or the police or the Federal Bureau of Investigation detains you and they say you're illegal. You go in front of the judge, and in due process, you have the ability to say, no, hey, I'm here legally. And then your case is dismissed. If you're not here legally, then you're sentenced, most of the time, to deportation. You're sent back to where you came from. If due process does not exist, and these are not deputized members of municipality, but they're Proud Boys, and they're Christian nationalists, and they're KKK members, wearing face masks and tactical gear, kidnapping any brown person off the street and saying you're illegal, you're fucking illegal. They're trying to make it punishable by death to be here illegally. And if you don't have due process and they round you up and they say you're illegal, they could potentially kill you. They could deport you to a country you're not from, where you spend the rest of your life doing slave labor in a fucking internment camp. They are building alligator Alcatraz. I need you guys to remember that slavery is legal in the American Constitution in way of imprisonment. That is why we have more citizens incarcerated per capita than anywhere in the world. They ended slavery and they created the prison system. And what is the primary population in the United States prison system? I'll fucking wait while you try to figure that one out, because it's not very fucking difficult. It is everybody's fight. They are killing Democratic politicians. They are arresting them for using their constitutional right to freedom of speech. They are trying to turn the National Guard on peaceful protesters. They are shooting peaceful protesters with less than lethal weaponry. They're shooting white female journalists. They're shooting white women walking down the street trying to get into their fucking apartment because protests exist in their neighborhood. And you think that this is not everybody's fight. They're trying to take power away from the judiciary branch. They're trying to end birthright citizenship. They've ended due process. Guys, what does it take for you to see that this is everybody's fight? When they're done with them, they are coming for you. And they told their supporters, it's going to get worse before it gets better. They're okay with the economic hit. They're okay with losing their farms and their unions and everything they claim to love about America. They're okay with losing their constitutional rights if it puts you back in a place that they think you belong. It is not about being illegally in America. It is about not being white in America. If you are not white, they are coming for you. The lowest common denominator of every political discord that exists in the United States of America is fucking racism. I don't care what it was. It is what it is. I get everybody's point. I can wrap my head around it as best as I can, being a white woman who has never experienced it. I'm sorry. That sucks that happened. It doesn't fucking matter what it was. It is what it is. It is a war on racism in the United States of America. Either you are racist or you aren't. Pick your fucking side and fight. Pick your fucking side.
I don't want to hear another white person say the word illegal for the rest of my goddamn life. We are living on stolen land. Our ancestors forcibly and violently seized this land from the indigenous peoples who were living here for generations before we ever showed up. We do not get to call them illegal. We don't own the fucking planet. Nobody does. We are evolved monkeys with opposable thumbs who use them to write little monkey scribbles on a slice of tree, and we call it a birth certificate with our little monkey sounds. All of it is made up. None of it is real, and it doesn't fucking matter. And it's certainly not a valid reason to rip a terrified, screaming child away from his weeping mother. And I am tired of being made to feel like I'm crazy for being angry about this. Capitalism is just narcissism as an economic system. Imperialism is just narcissism as a foreign policy. If the lion can't claim the safari for himself and call the elephant illegal, then neither the fuck can we!
Here's a list of things I find worthy of revolution. Number 1, the hospital you work at not accepting the insurance that it signed you up for. That's just silly. Revolution. Number 2, the fact that we could cure poverty in America if we just made the rich pay their fair share. Yet we don't do that. I'm getting really tired of that. Revolution. Number 3, the Supreme Court ruling that we can have more sewage in our drinking water. I do not like that. Revolution. Number 4, medical bills being higher if you have insurance than if you don't. Then what do we need you for? Revolution. Number 5, having to pay to have your car inspected for safety to then drive on roads that aren't safe to drive on. Revolution. Number 6, bars of soap being $500 in hospitals. Y'all are out of y'all's mind. Revolution. Number 7, public utilities being run by private monopolies with zero oversight can charge the citizens whatever they want to. Fun fact about that, my local energy company charged everyone in my city for hail damage to repair their lines. That sounds like socializing your losses and privatizing your profits. Revolution. I still cannot believe that I sold out of all of my shirts in 24 hours. It's so crazy. To all of you who ordered, thank you so much. To all the people who had my shirt in your cart, I saw there's about 500 of you. And to everyone else who missed out on the shirts, I promise to get more shirts as soon as possible, and I will let you guys know. Thank you guys so much. Thank you all for watching, and continue to put your reasons for revolution in the comments. I appreciate your faces. Revolution.
Are you sickened by what's happening in America right now? Because I am. Republican representatives, however, not so much. Senator Mitch McConnell recently told his fellow Republican senators to ignore all the people in their districts, the ones that are calling and writing and talking to them, the people who are afraid and upset about losing their health care or food assistance, the people in the South who won't even know if a tornado or hurricane is coming at them, and when their town is destroyed, there won't be any FEMA to help them. Mitch McConnell told his fellow Republicans, the people might be upset now, but they'll get over it. That's a real quote. That's what that rich motherfucker with government-funded healthcare said. This is completely unacceptable. It doesn't matter how you vote or what your political affiliation even is. The American government has the money to pay for these services. The Republicans just want to give that money away to the ultra-rich. And as someone who is absolutely dependent on her own health insurance to stay alive, I can promise you, people won't get over it. People will suffer, and they will die, and they will rightfully blame you for it. So maybe don't listen to the heartless bastard who helped destroy American democracy and keeps physically glitching in public, and use your own head. Vote no on this bill. Save our lives. But likely even more important to you, save yourselves from the 1 in 8 Americans in this nation who will have literally nothing left to lose if you do this to them.
To all the people like me whose lives were destroyed by Christianity, we have to speak out. Following Jesus Christ, Christianity, and the Bible for 60 years destroyed my life. I will never go back. What a waste of time. I definitely regret it.
July 4th, Iran launches a surprise attack on 3 American cities, and The Simpsons already revealed their names. Season 12, Episode 5, Kent Brockman breaks in. 3 missiles have entered U.S. airspace. We are on maximum alert. Chicago is hit first. A blinding explosion shakes the skyline. Glass rains from skyscrapers. Black smoke coils into the sky. President Trump appears on screen. We'll strike back with full force. But something unexpected happens. New York is next. Sirens scream down the avenues. The Empire State Building trembles. People scatter in terror. Debris falls. Mothers scream for their children. The streets crack open. The heat is unbearable, but the worst is yet to come. An Iranian official announces a nuclear missile is heading toward California. Helicopters swarm over Los Angeles. Evacuations spiral into chaos. The entire nation freezes in shock. In San Francisco, the sky darkens, heavy with nuclear threat. Marge prays desperately. Homer fumbles with the radio. Bart stands frozen, unable to speak. The National Guard floods the coast. Sirens wail, unending. Trump appears again, this time pale and speechless. Generals argue behind him. Protests erupt in Sacramento. Flags burn. The world watches in disbelief. Global leaders plead for peace, but panic overtakes the streets. Militias arm up in the mountains. The few prepare for the end.
A lot of chatter about something bad happening on July 4th, and I think they got it right this time. I would be looking for some kind of biological attack on July 4th this year. I got a feeling.
We have some breaking news right now. I just got word that these protests, these anti-Trump protests, have gone global. According to organizers who I spoke to, they have gone to Lisbon, to London, across the world. I mean, there are 1,300 protests happening in the United States right now, but there are a number of protests happening across the world, across Europe as well, and they're growing fast. Organizers expected about 1,300 protests and about 300,000 people, but in Washington, D.C. alone, where I was just at, it's a little quieter now, there are over 100,000 people there alone. There are tens of thousands of people in rallies across the country right now, and now across the globe as well. It's a global movement. It's pretty stunning to see. I did a full breakdown of all my interviews and everyone I spoke to on my Substack. You can find that at the link tree in my bio. You can subscribe for free. But there's truly a movement building right now, and as someone, as an independent journalist covering it, it is truly stunning to see. So now we have confirmation that these protests, folks, have gone global. More to come.
Racist. Let's talk about you culture vultures. Racist America does not love black culture. It requires it. In the same way a tick requires blood. They are intentionally dependent on black innovation because whiteness has no internal generator. It is a closed circuit of theft and mimicry, constantly rebooting itself on black genius just to feel human for 5 more minutes. Every jazz solo, every drill beat, every dance challenge is not just entertainment to them. It is dialysis. They yearn for the possibility of measuring up. They study black people in a fashion that totally blinds them to appearing like a Bundy/Dahmer hybrid. It's total psychosis. Whiteness consumes blackness the way an addict huffs oxygen. Not to thrive, but to avoid dying. And we can all agree that this is not new behavior. This is a historical genome of obsessive, racist behavior, from cotton to copyrights. The theft and culture adaptation started from a space of hiding the uniqueness of black people's hair and fashion. In the 1800s, vaudeville performers blackened their faces and became millionaires. In the 1900s, racists decided that they were sick of stinking up the bars while standing still, so they moseyed on over to the juke joint and began their theft of the blues. And when that became boring, because clearly no one wants to listen to Mitch McConnell cosplaying B.B. King, they repackaged rock music. How does one unseason chicken? Well, Dwight's found a way. Gentrifying R&B with the talents of George Michael, Michael Bolton, Michael McDonald, Christina Aguilera, and John B. While they all aren't total flops, could we have lived without their contribution? Absolutely. In the 2000s, they whitewashed hip-hop, and then staged Kanye making Taylor Swift a victim. All she had to be was be Jasmine Sullivan and be good enough to release music without a scandal or some award show scheme. In the 2020s, TikTok bans black creators but rewards the mimic class with brand deals. Whiteness doesn't create culture. It loots it, drains it, and then gatekeeps it, as if its hands were dripping in blood and glitter. While we are grateful for the contributions of the artists mentioned, we must ask ourselves, why? Why do we need white artists in an industry where they are swallowed whole without some huge circus to catch everyone's attention? Yet a full export of black culture to the rest of the world, basically saying, hey, look, China, we have the gold over here. Therefore, you must do what we say. They want so badly to own black culture when they don't have the ability to contribute or create one part of it. To love black culture while fearing black people is state-sponsored schizophrenia. You can't cheer for LeBron, but call Tamir Rice threatening. They want the bass of black music, but none of the memory of violence and theft encoded in the chord. They want the hips, the lips, the slang, but not the screams. Why are they obsessed? Because blackness is aliveness. It's spiritual elasticity. It's memory under pressure that sings instead of breaks. Black people are everything that everyone else can't be. Every time they imitate black culture, it's them admitting that black people are the source.
Just a heads up to all of you guys. They're not planning on having elections, all right? Like, they're off the table. That's why they're doing what they're doing. The bill, Supreme Court, all of it. They are not planning on having elections. They're going to get rid of them. Has it dawned on you yet? Yeah.
You know, we're going to have to shut the whole thing down. A general strike, the whole country. It's what it's going to come down to, and it's our greatest power. Our labor and our numbers. And I know a lot of y'all out there aren't really mentally prepared for what that means, but I assure you that's what it's going to take, and we will get it done. Could start with the labor leaders and those in the union positions for job security, but we will have to pull essential workers and people that provide essential services in order to disrupt the daily functioning of this society. Because after all these policies that they've enacted start to really affect the daily lives of the average American, it will happen, and it will need to happen. And it's the only way to grind the gears of this fascist regime to a halt. Now, I know most of us live paycheck to paycheck, and the thought about being out of work is scary as hell. So it will take support from each other for communities. It will take planning and preparation. The oligarchs that are in charge of our country will not listen to anything except for that. Our greatest power is in our strength and our labor, people. We need to come together in solidarity, class consciousness, all right? I'm gonna shut this whole fucking place down until they start listening to the people.
Well. Our friend Christina over at Christina Talks Tea just dropped some news. So apparently, our little buddy in El Salvador is now requiring our administration to provide proof that we are actually sending not only criminals, but also proof that they've had their due process. It's pretty bad when the UN is doing more to help our country than our own Congress. Go watch the video. I'll tag her below. She'll fill you in on all the details like she always does. Give her a follow. And yeah, a little bit of good news for us here on this Wednesday afternoon.
News, DC is locking down. They're bracing for something big. Steel barricades are being erected right now around the White House and the U.S. Treasury building, and nobody's giving an official reason. Overnight, anti-scale fences started going up, the kind used when they expect major unrest. And here's what's coming. On June 28th, today, a massive anti-war rally is planned in D.C. against the U.S. action in the Middle East. July 4th, the No Kings 2.0 protest is set to hit the Capitol. It's anti-government, anti-globalist, and could draw huge numbers. There are also rumors flying around that a major political or legal announcement is coming, something that could trigger nationwide backlash. These aren't Independence Day party preparations. These are containment measures. This is what they use before unrest and riots, not fireworks. They're not telling us why, but history says one thing. When DC builds a wall, they're expecting a storm. Now be sure to let me know your thoughts in the comments and make sure you follow along for more.
It is July 1st, and the No Kings 2.0 protest will be coming to a city near you on July 4th, hot and heavy. Now, this is what they are stating. We are not celebrating oppression. We are standing up against ICE, against Trump, and against the system tearing communities apart. Last time, we made the news. This time, we make it a movement. Turn July 4th into a national protest. Listen to what one has to say.
Don't invite me to any 4th of July celebration. This is not the year to celebrate. They've been separating families, and you want to have a hot dog and potato salad,
Absolutely.
Bitch? Yeah.
Americans, you know what that means. It just means that we party harder. We will be out on the lakes, at the park, celebrating with our family, not having to worry with these people. So, by all means, have a tequila shot for me, and we celebrate 4th of July. Eat those hot dogs. Make sure you get enough buns for everybody, because it seems like there's more hot dogs than there are buns. So, just in case you guys didn't know, the DOJ is going after people's citizenships now. So, if you are a naturalized citizen, you're about to fuck around and find
Some
out.
breaking and very sad news. The Trump administration is now taking immigrant children out of their foster homes, some as young as infants, and throwing them back into detention facilities. This isn't happening at the border. This is happening inside American communities. In just the last few months, at least 500 children have been ripped from their caregivers. In some cases, agents have walked into homes in plain clothes or even showed up at schools to question children. If they flag any concerns or find any immigration violations, the child is taken. Some of these kids are just months old. Others are 10, 11, and 12 years old. They are not accused of any crime whatsoever, but they are being treated like criminals. This is a revival of family separation. Only now it's quiet, it's bureaucratic, and it's happening to children who have already found safety, love, and support. The United States is taking vulnerable children and putting them back into custody, back into trauma, in the name of enforcement.
There was another man found hanging from a tree in Aurora, Colorado. And if you don't know this, please share this news, especially if you're from the Hispanic community, because he was a young Hispanic male. And I cannot believe that lynching is still alive in 2025 and is very much alive. There was another case in Albany, New York. His name was Earl Smith. He was a black man and he was 58 years of age. He was also found hanging from a tree. And, you know, the KKK and the white supremacy group, you know, they're very active right now. And I'm not going to argue with this with anyone because there's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. They have been emboldened by this racist administration, by Trump's racist administration, and they have no fear of law at the moment. They're just doing whatever they want because they feel emboldened by Donald Trump. They feel like they have the power, and I feel like we're getting fatigued, and we should not let this happen. They want to divide us. They want to create war between, smaller communities so that we don't focus on the bigger problem, which is this racist administration and what they're doing. So if you're from the Hispanic community, I need you to share this news because we all need to be aware. We all need to be informed.
This is the most important boycott of the year. It's not about politics. It's about principle. It's about walking away from the illusion they've built and reclaiming what it actually means to be free. So this year, this 4th of July, do not go to the parades. Do not gather at the fireworks shows. Don't wave a flag for a country that no longer waves it for you. The 4th of July is supposed to be a celebration of freedom. But what freedom are we actually talking about? The right to be watched? The right to be taxed? Lied to? Left behind? The right to vote between two corporate puppets? The right to work 60 hours a week and still struggle to pay rent while billionaires dodge taxes? Let me be honest with you. There is no independence to celebrate right now. Not when the very Constitution our forefathers fought for is being trampled on. Not when ICE raids are tearing families apart. Not when surveillance is being normalized. Not when protests are being criminalized. And not when the current administration is steamrolling its way into a dictatorship. This is not patriotism. It's pageantry. It's a distraction. It's a circus. 15 minutes of fireworks to light up the sky while they burn our rights to the ground. So this year, we don't show up. We don't protest in the streets. We don't clash with the police. We simply disengage. We turn the volume down on the illusion. We stay home. We stay silent. We gather only with those we love and those we trust. And we remember what this country is supposed to stand for. And if you must go out, support only small, independently owned local businesses, not the corporations funding the decay of democracy, not the vendors serving up cheap thrills in the name of liberty. This is not about being un-American. This is about being so American that you refuse to be lied to any longer. We are the People's Union USA, and on the 4th of July, we do not celebrate oppression. We do not dance for our captors, and we do not cheer for fireworks while our rights burn in silence. We hold the line. We stand in stillness. This 4th of July, turn down the noise and make the silence become thunder. Because if the government won't honor freedom, then we will stop pretending it exists. Hold the line. Visit thepeoplesunionusa.com and see what this is all about and join our free forum. Please share, my friends. Thank you.